Good morning and good afternoon. Welcome to another episode of Before Coffee. It is Thursday, so we have our Thursday's 13 list of the best songs on a particular Bob Dylan album. I don't remember which album you said.
Blonde on Blonde.
Blonde on Blonde.
I'll just tell you when I do the headline. Where's my pencil?
This is the first and only international game show, Before Coffee, a father and daughter news podcast where we look up our stories right before the show starts. We just got caffeine in our body and we learn to read and speak live on stream. Let's get into this. Our Thursday's 13 general news headlines and spin that segue wheel. Today on Thursday's 13. How the Romanian Prime Minister ended his first term and has now been dismissed by his own party. What's coming up next?
And in Venezuela, they've had an earthquake. Buildings have toppled. People are dead. Plus, Whiskey Pete, Keg's Breath, the awful defense secretary has his flu shot. Voluntary flu shot, whatever it is, his voluntary flu shot program has sickened 300 people in Air Force boot camp.
Heavy rains from nearby typhoon pound Taiwan, 200 to be evacuated on the east coast alone.
Thursday's 13, we have 60 years since the Blonde on Blonde album, one of the best double albums, one of the most influential double albums of all time, was released. We're going to rank the 13 top songs on that album. Yeah.
In my culture news, it's giving me carnival vibes. Fête de la Musique became a must-visit event for Black diaspora.
And, whoops, it is National Day calendar. It is National Strawberry Parfait Day. Anything with strawberries in it is good. It is June 25th, 2026 on Before Coffee.
Why is my controller being so laggy today? Okay, let's roll our first segue. It is sarcasm.
Sarcasm.
This first story is coming from Romania, where they're trying to avoid having a snap election, but probably not going to be able to. This is from Marius Gerasiu on The Observer. The Observator News. Romania. Sorin Grindeanu is the PSD's proposal for the position of premier. The Social Democrats are willing to assume the government themselves, but they demand total autonomy when it comes to the governing program. On the other hand, PNL, USR, and UDMR would like a new rotation of people in the government. The alternative would be a right-wing government until next spring, and then a PSD government until the 2028 elections. PSD leaders unanimously decided to propose Sorin Grindeanu for the position of premier. PSD will have a full autonomy over the governing program. If it will be a PSD government, then it would be a government that will not be afraid and that will not sit with the hat in hand in front of everyone. PSD will play exclusively in its hands, said PSD President Sorin Grindeanu. However, a team made up of Ovidiu Popa, Radu Opria, and Marian Neasu will negotiate a pact with other pro-Western parties for the continuation of the PNRR and SAFE programs. Reminder, the SAFE program is EU initiative to give money to people to increase their military so that they don't get invaded by Russia. It is the condition set by the Nicosur Dan to accept a minority government. On the other hand, PNL, USR, and UDMR are preparing an alternative. However, we have a casting in 2077 anyway. That was the coalition, and the Social Democratic Party came to power. Personally, I think we could go on such a variant if it is aggravated, says the UDMR spokesperson, Kosoma Boltand. So the idea here is that right now they do have a majority under the Social Democrats, but a minority government is trying to take power instead because they also have, their coalition has enough to take over the prime ministership. But according to political sources, the president would not have agreed with rota proposed by the USR. Instead, the PNL announced that it is willing to vote on a social democratic government as long as the reforms continue and assume the deficit reduction. Another condition would be that the PSD government not be co-opted the liberals in the anti-Bolognan wing. Observer processors say the decision displeased the liberals who supported the previous government. Those who voted for a government that included liberals are considered disloyalty suspects, but voting for a simple PSD government, even with conditions, is fine. It's a paradox, said former PNL First Vice President Catalin Perduyo. The USR will not vote for a PSD government. I told the president that the USR will not be able to support a government of which PSD is a part. That is a position that is not new, USR President Dominic Fritz said. This is what happens when you have multiple parties. They make coalitions with each other and they hate the other one. I won't be anywhere near that one, so I will not be having a government. Sorin Gurdio Dianu has already announced that he wants Luca Nicolescu for the position of foreign minister. The former ambassador of Romania to France was also part of the list of ministers proposed by Eugene Tomac and Adrian Vestea. PSD president did not exclude the maintenance of Alexandru Nazare in the government. Alexandru Nazare this year was a good minister of finance, said Sorin Gurdiadu. So they're not going to change the finance minister anytime soon. Romania has been in political impasse for almost 2 months. If the parties reach an agreement, President Nicosur Dan could nominate the new prime minister They could nominate the new prime minister this Friday on the 26th of June, in which case the vote in Parliament could take place on either Monday or Tuesday, which will be Monday will be the 29th, the 29th of June, or the 30th of June. That's when the Parliament, I guess, could agree on a vote to make Grenadu the new prime minister. Thorin Grenadu was also prime minister between January and June of 2017. In his mandate was given the famous Ordinance 13, which imposed a threshold of damage from which certain corruption deeds could be criminalized. Rooting out that corruption, Grenadu withdrew the ordinance after the massive protests that followed, but he broke into the disgrace of the PSD president at the time, Liviu Dragnea. The consequence was his dismissal through a no-confidence motion initiated by his own party. Thorin Grenadu's proposal would be the third in his political impasse that has been going on for over 50 days. So he got voted out before by no confidence by his own party, but maybe he's the political system of 2017 is way different from the political system of a 26-27. So it's not really, I guess it's not comparable. And back in 2017, we had, the Brexit drama, the refugee crisis. COVID hadn't happened yet, which I think COVID changed a lot of things. So.
Yeah, Brexit was over by 2015.
No, it wasn't. Brexit didn't finish.
The vote was 2015, right?
I'm pretty sure the vote was 2016.
That was before our election. I know that much. Hey, anyway,
it was happening at the time, whereas now it's done for, so to say. The Brexit stuff is done and dusted.
Yeah, it isn't like Romania's getting bombed by Russia by accident a couple of weeks ago or anything.
Yeah, right.
Not like the current affairs are affecting their. Oh. So that's my sarcasm. Sarcasm on Russia being just a outlaw state, and everybody.
Yeah, sadly,
the right-wing politicians in all these countries say we need to cozy up to Russia, and why do the citizens even think that's a good thing? It's like, they're just going to steal your land, man. They're going to say that used to be part of Russia. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sadly, they didn't explain why, what happened with the snap election, but because I haven't really been following the Romania stuff, but it's not good when so many governments in Europe right now are just constantly having to reverse leadership and make new coalitions and stuff.
We got to know, man. We don't even know. We don't even know what the oligarchs are favoring, because the oligarchs are never satisfied. Just so anybody knows that oligarchs are never satisfied. There's never enough money for a rich person. It's never enough for some reason. That's all they run on, acquiring things and controlling things.
Yeah.
It's a mental illness that needs to be treated.
Thank you, Tommy. Mm-hmm. All right, let's roll our next segue. Good morning, Tommy. Hope you're having a good Thursday. It is Thursday, almost Friday today.
I think I finished ranking the songs now, so get that going for me.
We're rolling the segue.
Right on.
Do you want me to look up a video for the mic drop moment, or are you going to do that still?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it. Unless you got one out there.
Reminds me, the song is our next segue. I haven't got one yet, but I can probably look one up faster.
I have trouble thinking of any words this morning. So I got two stories. Buildings collapse in Venezuela. Yes, Venezuela, a very poor country, as all the wealth is concentrated at the top. And very suspect government run by crooked people. This is from DW.com. Buildings collapse after deadly earthquakes rock Venezuela. Shaquille Soban and Dimitro Hobenko. We're going to cut this story down. It's a little bit longer. Why is this about EU commissioner, man? It says all about the EU commissioner. Why don't we just get the information? China offers help in quake of deadly earthquake. So there's a different story. That's why. Wow, these stories are all about other people and Marco Rubio extending condolences. Everybody's extending condolences. That's not a story. All right, here we go. At least 32 deaths, 700 injured in earthquakes, Rodriguez said. The back-to-back earthquakes that rocked Venezuela on Wednesday have killed at least 32 people. Interim president Delcy Rodriguez said, I lose track. Who's in charge there? Over 700, only 700 others were injured, he added. Dozens of buildings have collapsed, and we are engaged in the arduous task of rescuing the lives that God allowed us to save. God through the hurricane, through the earthquake, didn't he? I'm so confused why they just, oh God, please. They're all realizing that they're powerless against earthquakes, and they're calling the earthquake God. The earthquake is God to them. These. I'm just saying, why are you favoring God when He's the one that did this? Obviously, right? If He's the one that saved them, He must be the one that did it. Or is He just not responsible for anything except saving people? You only praise God when He does good things. He just killed a bunch of people. Anyway. The state of LaGuardia is facing a true tragedy and has become a disaster zone. Rodriguez said she did not yet have the data on LaGuardia, located near the capital. The powerful 7.2 and 7.5 magnitude earthquakes were among the strongest strikes in Venezuela in a century. That was pretty bad. Seven's bad.
You're going to lose some concrete in that.
And that was my quick story. There ain't much to say so far, except earthquake. You know. Not a lot to do. Get an open field if you can. Don't stand under buildings. Stand in a doorway if you're in a building. Stand in a doorway. Don't stay in their windows, that kind of thing. It's really kind of trapped. Living on this big ball of dirt floating through space. That stuff happens. That was my story. Well, I'll get another one, but...
Well, the song that reminds me of is Earthquake by Tyler, the Creator, and it's not even about... It's about somebody loving somebody so much that they create an earthquake in your heart. But,
That's right. The song Landslide by Fleetwood Mac is not about a landslide.
Exactly. And that is a way better earthquake than an actual 7.2, 7.4, what you said.
That's right. And a landslide isn't as bad as an earthquake. It's just one piece of land with unstable ground on it.
As long as your house is not on it, it's fine. I mean, most things on the planet, are like that. As long as my house isn't there, it's fine. But most people's houses are unfortunately on landslides and earthquakes. So, hopefully everyone's safe.
The ground moves. Nothing we can do about it. This is where we get them in the water. That moves even more. So that's I didn't know applause, but I'll give you applause after the next one. This one is about stupid policy by stupid people for stupid people. AP News, Pentagon restores mandatory flu shots as outbreak sickens 300. That's right. Konstantin Troropin and Mike Stobie have the story. The Pentagon, as we used to call it, the Puzzle Palace, said Wednesday that boot camps for all military services once again required a flu shot and vaccinations after Defense Secretary Pete Kegsbreath made the shot optional for military at the end of April. That didn't last long, you dumb shit. Once again, you're going into the military, you gave away your rights. That's what you did when you signed that paper. You are now property of the military, and you're getting a shot because you don't want to make your entire unit sick. Because an entire unit that is sick cannot fight. At least not fight well. Somebody make this stupid timeline stop. We're gonna make you do push-ups and send you off to war to get shot at, but we're not gonna make you get a flow shot. Fucking stupid. Anyway. Anywho, let me regroup here. The development confirmed by the Associated Press by a Pentagon official who probably got fired for talking to the press, comes amid a growing weeks-long flu outbreak that the U.S. Air Force, the weakest of our branches, at Lackland Air Force Base, that has sickened nearly 300 people. However, the official who spoke of a condition of anonymity to discuss the details not cleared for public release maintained that the permission to mandate the vaccinations will eliminate the outbreak. Yes, I said the weakest of our services. I was a Marine. Deal with it. When Hegseth first announced the repeal of the flu vaccine mandate in April, citing medical autonomy. You have medical autonomy in your... Goddamn right. Anyway, medical autonomy. What the fuck is medical autonomy? You gave up your body to go stop bullets. Oh, it's never mind. It's Air Force. You're just going to sit at a desk and file papers. I forgot. Never mind. And religious freedom, he allowed the services to ask for exceptions or permission to keep the vaccine mandatory within 15 days of the rollout. File them papers, guys. The Pentagon official explained the decision on those exceptions were being finalized earlier in June, and the timing with the outbreak of Lackland was just a coincidence. Right. Only 40% of new trainees moving through the boot camp at Lackland opted to receive the shot once it became optional. You stuck me. I don't know if any of you out there have gone through boot camp. That's all you do the first 2 days. You're a pincushion. They shoot you, they shoot you, they shoot you, they shoot you, and they shoot you some more. There's other ones there's ones you take orally too. There's those too. I think the polio is the oral one. But again, if you didn't get it in school, a lot of these things are going like your school records aren't enough, right?
Yeah.
And if you got to go to the Philippines or Korea or anywhere that has malaria, you got to take malaria pills. And during the Gulf War, way back in the early 2000s, they made everybody, it was anywhere, and I know people that did this, and it fucked them up, take anthrax shots. And it fucked them up because they didn't complete the series. And they probably got a lawsuit. They probably got a settlement with the government if they act on it, right? So you're fucking giving up your life when you join the military. Stop acting like you have rights. It's absolute nonsense. Try to discuss your rights with your drill instructor. See what he has to say about it. Try that. Go ahead. Tell them about your rights. See how that goes over. Anyway, the base handles, this base, was at Lackland, handles roughly 700 new recruits every week, according to Air Force figures, and the close quarters environment has long been recognized as being conductive to spread disease. That's why they give you shots before you get there. Everybody, yeah, science has figured this out. Before prevents stuff. New thing. Look into it. Recruits are exposed to high stress, low sleep, and close contact conditions for a week. They typically sleep together in large open rooms, shower communally, and conduct much of their instructions and inspection with close contact. Never, no shit. Close contact. I don't know if the Air Force does close contact or else. They might do it just for fun, right? I don't know. It's never going to come up in their job, but hey, yeah. The Lackland outbreak, which is now roughly 3 weeks long, has produced 275 cases of the flu. Democratic Representative Joaquin Castro said in a special media post. That's in his district. Air Force Boot Camp is in his district. New outbreak is not usually concerning, said Dr. Arnold Monto, a flu expert, emeritus, University of Michigan. The flu is mainly a problem for the later fall-winter flu season, as is known, but flu viruses continually circulate at lower levels in warmer months, too. Concentrated flu outbreaks can occur in spring and summer, but tend to be seen mainly on military bases, cruise ships, and other settings where a lot of people are gathered together indoors, Monto said. If you want to prevent flu outbreaks, it's especially necessary to vaccinate when they're going to group settings. In a statement to the media, Sean Parnell, the group's top spokesman, concerned exceptions are granted to Army, Navy, Air Force, as well as the National Security Agency and Defense Agency, but wouldn't allow further details. No exceptions for the Marine Corps, huh? Okay, fuck you. However, but American Navy officials have said they have been asked for permission to make the shot mandatory for certain broad groups, include troops deploying overseas, healthcare workers, and child care workers. How about child care workers? Is that in the military? Military child care workers, I guess. Families Fighting Flu, an advocacy organization, cheered any change to increase vaccination. For decades, the military prioritized the health and safety of troops, the public by requiring flu vaccine for recruits. It's unfortunate more than 200 individuals at Lackland Air Force Base in Texas became ill, and the requirement was rescinded. And Michelle Stelbosky, and she is the organization's chief executive officer. So does that remind you of a song? As we're trying to save lives, folks. We're not trying to. You didn't join the military to exercise your rights, by the way. You would join the military because you had nowhere to go. Mike, go ahead. So we go.
The song, this reminds me of his boot camp by Soundgarden. I must obey the rules. I must be tame and cool. No staring at the clouds. I must stay on the ground. In clutches of the mice, the smoke in our eyes, like babies on display, like angels in a cage. I must be pure and true. I must convey my views. There must be something else. There must be something good, far away from here. Which is what you'll be doing if you're getting stabbed by all those needles.
I don't know that song.
Your vaccines.
Now, Soundgarden has had a member that joined the Army Rangers. One of the few rock groups, modern day rock groups. Of course, he stopped being a rock and roller at that point. But
yeah,
I can't think of his name right now because he's not one of the members that you remember of the group because it was before they hit it big. He said, this ain't working out. I'm joining the military. I'm a ranger. I want to be an airborne ranger. That's it. That's it. That's all my stories.
I was waiting for a cheer sound because you said you were going to do that after your stories.
I'm not away. I'm not sorry. I'm not away.
You specifically said I'll do this after my second story, and then you did. Mixed metaphors are next segue.
I'm sorry, man. I don't mixed metaphor. Okay.
Mixed metaphor. Our next story is coming from Taiwan. We're talking about earthquakes. Let's talk about typhoons hitting Taiwan on the east coast. This is from Reuters. Coming out of Taipei. Heavy rains from a passing typhoon caused localized flooding in Taipei and parts of southern Taiwan on Thursday, which was the 25th of June, while more than 200 people on the East Coast will be evacuated ahead of a possible breach of a barrier lake in the mountains. Oh no! The lake is emptying out onto my town. Although Typhoon Mekala, which is heading towards Japan, will not make direct landfall in Taiwan, its outer bands are bringing torrential rain in parts of the island, especially in Kaohsiung and Pingtung in the south. Pingtung's government ordered all offices and schools closed on this afternoon. Well, it's already been the afternoon I like how it just started raining in the little game. So. The schools were closed today, while neighboring Kaohsiung did the same for 2 mountainous areas. In one area, the Neihu suburb of Taipei, floodwaters nearly submerged cars. And you know what happens when you have a lot of water? You have a lot of landslides too, which is why they're evacuating all these mountain villages, because those mountain villages might become mountain caves soon. While no casualties have been reported so far, in the eastern coastal county of Hualien, the government is evacuating more than 200 people in 2 townships, which are downstream from a rapidly filling barrier lake above it in the mountains. Barrier lakes are formed when rocks, landslides, or other natural blockages make a dam across a river. Normally in a valley, blocking and holding back water, hindering or even stopping natural drainage. Last year, 19 people died in a different part of Hualien when another barrier lake breached its banks during Super Typhoon Ragasa, sending a wall of water and mud into people's homes. Rain is forecast to continue over Taiwan for at least the next week, though it will gradually ease. Welcome to wet season, everyone. Precipitation is not all bad news for Taiwan, which relies on the traditional summer and autumn typhoon season to fill up its reservoirs after what are typically dry winters. So it's good news that nobody's been hurt and that they get their water for the upcoming dry season. But, it's bad news because I can't go home. There's people who can't go home because, their whole house is probably going to be full of mud very soon. This was reported by Ben Blanchard and edited by David Dolan.
Yes. It was raining. Ready for a mixed metaphor?
Yes.
It was raining cats and dogs, so much so that the baby was thrown up with the bathwater.
Oh, I get it. I get jokes.
All right, let's go to my shorts are very short today because it's Thursday, so to the list. Thursday's 13 list.
Oh, wow. Okay. Let me, hold on a second here. I hadn't prepared myself properly. I thought you were the longer story.
Nope.
I'm going to play it in the background. Okay, so what did we get? What did we spend? Non sequitur. A to non. Well, you can sleep through it. Cool. You can sleep through this one because it's a non sequitur, but don't sleep through it. That's not polite. Okay, so okay, why do I care about this album? Because there's very few double albums that are really all that good. I don't know, you probably got a favorite one, like the White Album or whatever, but a lot of double albums have gaps in them. Like there's like, wow,
too many songs.
Too many songs. Some of them, like London Calling, has just enough songs, and it's 20 songs, and it's a double album. But there's a few double albums that are still held up as groundbreaking. Why? Because they changed things. In 1966, which was 60 years ago, the rock and roll music was okay. It was good, right? They had the Beatles, you had the Stones, you had everything. But you also had Bob Dylan, the guy who changed a lot of the way people record, and he was known for recording in New York City. He started recording his previous album, Highway 61 Revisited, and his previous album before that, Bring It All Back Home, or the first two, which are known as the Electric Trilogy. They call it because, Dylan plugged in and hired a band and all that. And so The third one, though, he moved his entire operation to Nashville. And why is that important? Because that's where country music was, in Nashville. Nashville is where all the musicians, all the great guitar players are going back in those days. And he was probably just getting tired of the New York musicians. Whatever reason, he packed his shit and went to Nashville and recorded Blonde on Blonde. And not only did it do wonders for Bob Dylan and rock and roll music, it did wonders for Nashville. As a bunch of rock and rollers went to Nashville to record after that. So not only were the Nashville musicians, although they were probably at first they're going, what's this weird all hippie, whatever, Nashville, it's Tennessee. What are these weirdos doing in town? But after a while, they're like, man, these weirdos are bringing us a lot of work. So the musicians were definitely on board. And one of the great ones is Charlie McCoy, who I'll reference here in a couple of times. Well, let's get on with it. We're gonna rank from 14 to 13. I don't have my board, but I do have the big book of Bob Dylan songs, so I can tell you everything you don't want to know about each song, but I won't go that far. Number 14 is 14 songs on it, and I will not rank this as a song because to me it's not a song. It's the play out. And it's called Sad-Eyed Lady of the Lowlands, and it's 11 minutes long, and it's Bob Dylan singing about his wife, which is very romantic, right? But it's not all that romantic, and it's very cryptic, as Bob Dylan is. And her name is Sarah Lowndes. Lowndes was her married name, Londs, Lowlands. If you just take out a couple of letters, that spells the same thing. And he basically admitted writing in his song Sarah 10 years later, he admitted, yeah, that song's about my wife. I wrote it about Sarah. So that's Bob Dylan, but again, the song is long and it is ponderous. And although I'll listen to it, I'll only listen to it because it's the play out, right? Why would you listen to a whole album and skip the last song? You wouldn't do that. It's 11 minutes long. I'm not a big fan. A lot of people think it's great. Here, the musicians in Nashville were like, does this song ever end? Are we going to play this song the rest of our lives? Or looking at each other, because that's the way Bob Dylan, he just started playing and he just joined in. That's the way he recorded. If the take didn't work, they did another one. So we're going to start the list at number 13. I have to go find 13 because they're not in the order they appear on the album. Number 13, as I got to organize the way I'm going to do this, I hadn't really done the biggest. There are no good outtakes. Some of these albums had great outtakes, but I've listened to them and I don't think they're all that great. So we're not going to rate any of the outtakes. So he probably make the right decision on what songs he kept on the album. The 13th, not by no means the worst song on the album, which I'm having trouble finding, where I put numbers on these pages. It's not a terrible song by any means, but it is number 13, and it's on my list, and it's One of Us Must Know Sooner or Later. One of Us Must Know, and it's kind of a more or less breakup song. It's like, oh, you're just doing what you were supposed to do. You broke it up. Nothing really great about this song. It's just a nice song in the middle of an album. Nothing really to say about it. I mean, there's nothing what to say about it. It's just sooner or later, one of us must know. I can play it in the background if you want. If you want that part, I can do the production part too. Let's see. I forgot where it was in the song.
I definitely won't know.
Where the hell is it, man? It should be like the third song. There it is. There you guys. I don't know if you hear this at all. That's it. Sooner or later, one of us must know if you hear it at all. There it's playing in the background. You hear that? Hear that at all?
I do not. You have noise reduction, so you'd have to turn that off on Discord in order for me to hear anything in the background.
Get it now?
Discord is automatically taking it out.
People say no. Don't hear it, you don't hear it. Okay, number 12. Again, Sooner or later, one of us must know. Number 12 is the fourth time around. This is kind of a humorous song. Fourth time around. You see that at all? Fourth time around. And that is a song in response to the song. You might know the song Norwegian Wood by the Beatles. You know it, right? It's exactly the same key as Norwegian Wood. It's exactly the same tempo as Norwegian Wood. And it's basically, it tells a story of Bob Dylan and this lady just doing stuff that's just ordinary things. and Bob Dylan's like, how do you know it's a ripoff of Norwegian Wood? I think I wrote it before Norwegian Wood. He was being coy, obviously, but he was just like, the Beatles and Bob Dylan would do this kind of thing. So, John Lennon thought it was funny. He didn't, oh no, plagiarism. He just thought it was funny. It's the same song. It's the same song as Norwegian Wood. That's so funny about it. So he was Weird Al in it right there, just changing all the lyrics, not even making it even, rhyming, just using the same tempo, the same. Number 11, it should be in here. Oh, and if you don't know, it just doesn't go anywhere, this song. Number 11 is Temporary Like Achilles. Temporary Like Achilles. He was talking about his love, and how Achilles is good. Yeah, that's right. Achilles was there in the Trojan Wars, of course. So he's going back to Greek history or Greek mythology. Temporary Achilles. Baby, I want your loving, honey, why are you so hard? And it's just like, he just doesn't understand why you can't get through. It's a love song. Bob Dylan was getting a lot of love songs out of his system in his days. Protest songs were not his thing anymore. You will find no protest songs in any of his albums from 1965 until Hurricane in 1978. That's probably the length of that. No protest song. Number 10 is Absolutely Sweet Marie, which was covered by George Harrison, among others. Speaking of the Beatles, one of Bob Dylan's friends, at least in the Traveling Wilburys, they were friends. Absolutely Sweet Marie, he's like, again, he's wondering. We're going through the bottom real quickly. They're not the bottom necessarily, but you know what I mean. The song contains two characteristic elements, a series of sexual metaphors and surreal poetry. The unfortunate narrator's frustration is quite clear in the first verse. Well, your railroad gate, I just can't jump it. Sometimes it gets so hard, you see, I'm just sitting here banging on my trumpet with all these promises you left for me. Where are you tonight? Sweet Marie, he does not know where his girl went. Number 9. Most likely, you go your way and I'll go mine. This one was released as a single. I love this song. It begins with a big old trumpet blaring. What do you call it when trumpets blare? Well, it has a lot of horns in it. Who plays horns in this? Anywho, it might even just be a harmonica.
John Hornman.
Yeah, that's right. It has some of the great lines I've ever. Sometimes it gets so hard to care. It can't be this way everywhere. That's a great line. Most likely you go your way and I'll go mine. Time will tell who gets left behind when you go your way and I go mine. That's this chorus. Number 8 is, we're getting to some hits here soon. Number 8, and again, check out this album. It doesn't have any bad track on it. I'm just ranking it for my own amusement. Number 8 is one of the longest song titles. Hard to swing around. Stuck Inside of Memphis. Stuck Inside of Mobile with the Memphis Blues again. I got it backwards.
The Memphis Blues.
Yeah, a lot of cryptology, as he does that in this about. Well, again, being stuck in Mobile, I can identify with that. I guess he wanted to be in Memphis. This song is a good example of Dylan writing under the literary influence of the Beat Generation. The second verse is a masterpiece of nonsense or the result of a psychedelic experience. Well, Shakespeare, he's in the alley with his pointed shoes and his bells, speaking to some French girl who says she knows me well. So, yeah. Acid? I don't know. But yeah, great song. It has a great music. It does go on for 7 minutes. And the verses, the verses are all, the chorus is, oh, mama. I forget
oh, mama.
I'm stuck inside. Oh, mama. Anyway, their verses.
It's a pretty easy chorus to sing to.
I hate the fact that we're not playing the sound, because there could be music playing while I'm turning pages. So I'm not going to do a musical one again. That's the last one I'm doing. Number 7. Did I get to 7 yet? Number 7. There's 10. There's 9. Lick my fingers. 7. We're not to 6. We're not to 7. I'm not even to my favorites yet, because you say, we did that one. We just number 1. Oh, I know what it is. It's Pledging My Time. That's what it is. Number 7 is Pledging My Time, which is Total Blues. Total Blues with the harmonica. I'm pledging my time. You know that one. That blues riff. The most famous blues riff you ever heard in your life. That's all it is. It's Pledging My Time is a blues riff. I'm pledging my time to you. Hoping you come through too. So that's Bob Dylan, number 7. Number 6, we're getting to the hits. I hear keyboards are tapping.
Yes. Me.
One of your funny songs about commercialism. I see you got your leopard skin pillbox hat. Yeah, I see you got it. You got that leopard skin pillbox hat. This was a slam on commercialism, right? You may be a loser, you may be ugly, you may be have no personality, but you sure dress well. So
got that going for you.
I think this was a slam on Edie Sedgwick. I see you get your leopard skin pillbox hat. Of course, he was from Minnesota, and he just got thrown in with all of these people. They were just a conglomeration of, I'm in New York, I'm popular and fashion trendy. People like Edie Sedgwick and who he supposedly dated, and Andy Warhol and so forth. Leopard skin pillbox hat. He was making fun of the people he was hanging out with and their idiotic clothes, thinking that it made them better people somehow. Love that song. Leopard skin pillbox hat. Number 5 to me is a great song, even though it's not necessarily considered a great song. It's obviously 5 Believers, and the reason it's a great song is Charlie McCoy's harmonica, which I would play for you, but I guess you can't hear it. Charlie McCoy was the star of all these sessions, and I say that because of one of the songs, and I think it was, obviously, You Go Your Ways and I'll Go Mine. He was playing the trumpet while he was playing the bass in the recording session. You don't have to do that in the recording session. You can dub it later. He's like, no, I can play both at once. So he's playing the trumpet and the bass in the recording session. So that's obvious. So obviously 5 Believers. Again, obviously 5 Believers. Got a lot
I'm
of
back. I left.
Oh.
What did you say?
Where was I?
My Discord's sending me. No, my Discord keeps sending me to the AFK channel for some reason. I'm
Was
not
I
AFK.
number 5?
I'm here talking. You
Did I
just said
do
something
obviously?
funny at the end.
That doesn't help me at all. What number was I on?
It was literally 2 seconds. I don't know. It was literally 2 seconds. I was gone.
Okay,
One,
we'll do
two,
it.
and I was back.
Okay, obviously 5 Believers is the song I was talking about. It says I get no guidance. This was a song called Me and My Chauffeur Blues by Memphis Minnie back in the 1920s. So he stole the tune, which is very common. He just stole the tune for the blues. Obviously, Five Believers. It's an upbeat song. Again, it's featured Charlie McCoy, who I just said can play any instrument apparently, but he played guitar, he played bass in a lot of these, and this one he plays harmonica, only harmonica, and it's probably the best harmonica on any Bob Dylan song, considering Bob Dylan plays harmonica. Not like Charlie McCoy can play it, though. Charlie really ripped it. Number 4, we're getting into the hits. Number 4 is I Want You, which was a hit song. And I heard it on the radio in 1966 when I was a little kid. So I knew this song. I've known this song my entire life. Where is it in the album? There it is, number 4. I Want You. And I'm going to get into the nitty gritty about these. Dylan said, it's not just the pretty words to a tune, putting in turn the words and the music together. I can hear the sound. This song, there's a reference into a Chinese suit, and that actually, I guess, refers to Brian Jones of the Rolling Stones. It says, so again, recorded in Memphis. It's pretty straightforward. It's about I want you, right? But it's he says a lot of words. If you don't know this song, I mean, sound is necessary for these lists. And if I knew I wasn't making a list for sounds, I wouldn't have done it. That's number 4. No, I seriously would not have done the list if I knew there was restrictions on it. But that's number 3 is Just Like a Woman. You may have heard this one, which is known. I know feminists attacked it for being condescending when it was the opposite of condescending, but they just didn't listen. They didn't listen to the words, right? They were talking about
knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, it's like, what does he mean? She breaks like a little girl. Oh, she's only 2 things to this guy. When you actually read the words, you understand that he's saying, yeah, she's not like you want her to be. She's not like he's this poor bastard that's lost because he's the one in the fucking dark, right? I understand that part because he's the one was lost and it was your world. And that's at the very end. And it's a very poignant song about him being just this lost, lonely puppy. And it's hard to tell who that's about. It might be about Joan Baez, because when he met Joan Baez, he was nobody, and she was a big star. Number 2, Everybody Must Get Stoned. They must. And again, musically, this song sucks. Like, everybody hates this song for its music. And the message is, why did they put that awful thing out on the radio? Because it's called a double entendre. Everybody got stoned. They'll stone you when you're trying to be so good. They'll stone you just like they said they would. Why did you not expect them to stone you? That second line just tells you. Of course they're going to stone you. That's what they do. They keep doing it, by the way. They make you famous, and then they knock you down. And that's what this song is about. If you want to think it's about smoking weed, that's your trip, right? That's about smoke my weed. You don't understand words? Who said anything about smoking weed? And of course, 12 and 35. Rainy day women. What's a rainy day woman, right? A rainy day woman is, I ain't got a woman, but I got a joint. Spark it up, right? That's a rainy day woman. Rainy day is not a literal rainy day. And 12 times 35. As I keep reemphasizing over and over again, somehow 12 times 35 is 420. I don't know. That still blows my mind. In 1966, Bob Dylan predicted 420. He has a talisman that was given to him by
designated it even. I wouldn't say he predicted it. He designated it as the day.
I'm just sure that Bob Dylan found a talisman, or he was given a talisman and said, here, this will give you uncontrolled power to write songs and predict future events. And that's what he did. Number 1 is Visions. And a lot of people consider this Bob Dylan's finest song. And I've seen it on lists, Visions of Johanna, which is about a lot of it about an art gallery in New York, but you can apply it to just about anything. It's very, very well written, very mysterious. Just very, very imagery. Very, you gotta listen to it. I mean, it's just one of those songs. It's like he's with this woman named Louise. Not sure who Louise is. Maybe his present wife. And he wishes he was with Johanna, who we don't know who that is either. And Louise also wishes she was with Johanna. So we don't know who this is specifically. But everybody in the whole stinking town wishes she was there, and she's gone. We don't know where. So it's very mysterious. There's your list. And again, this album changed rock and roll. If you don't believe me, go listen to anything before Bob Dylan went electric. The Beatles sucked before Bob Dylan went electric. I don't care what you say. The Beatles were not that great until Rubber Soul. Rubber Soul was after they met Bob Dylan, and they said, and songs like Help came out, and songs like, you know, I don't know, Walrus, right?
That's the song we were missing in our...
If there's anybody that benefited more from meeting Bob Dylan, it was John Lennon. He said, John, your songs don't have to mean anything. He said, really? That's right. Wow!
They already didn't mean anything. Like, if we're going to be honest, though, like pop, quote unquote pop music before kind of like the great artist, you know, the great artistry of making music was, I mean, sorry, I should clarify, white people music back before then was pretty like
all music.
It wasn't, I would say black people had something to sing about.
All music until then was straightforward. Almost all of it. The only time you shaded it is when you had a code word for sex or drugs, right? But all music.
I think black people have always been singing in metaphor and, you know, figurative language before.
Metaphor is completely,
which is not literal.
Yeah, metaphor is completely different than cryptology. You have no idea what that metaphor means, even when you're reading it. You read it 40 times, you don't know what it means. Tell me what I am the walrus means. No idea. So it's more or less, it's not really metaphors. What was the word I was using before? It was more or less, mysticism than anything else. And listen, like I said, but you say
that Bob Dylan changed music. I just don't think he, like, all music before him was, I just don't agree with that statement.
What statement was? No, what literal. I'm saying is, no, it wasn't literal. It was straightforward. You knew what the metaphor meant, right? Even metaphors were straightforward metaphors, right? Nobody gets confused about. I'm not going to give you an example. You know, metaphors that are so easy to understand. So what I'm saying is, I want to hold your hand. The Beatles went for, she loves you. Yeah. I want to hold your hand. To writing, you know, Eleanor Rigby, right? Let's listen to Eleanor Rigby. No, it's depressing. But the Beatles made it, Bob Dylan made it okay. You don't have to make pop songs about making everybody feel happy about their freaking lot in life. Even though Eleanor Rigby wasn't a hit song, it was on the flip side of a hit song, which is basically the same thing. People bought it, they played it. Nobody ignored the flip side. And there's your list. You got a metaphor, or you already did that? I mean,
for non sequitur, which I was doing this whole time, but you kept on going back on topic.
Metaphors are on my mind. But anyway, that's the list. I guess the point wasn't that songs weren't about anything. It's just that they could be about anything now, right? They could now be about anything. They weren't just about me and my uncomfortable situation for this afternoon, which is what they were about all the time, almost all the time.
Now it's time for you to give me a non sequitur for our culture news.
You're rolling that. Did you roll it twice? What did I get the first time?
Yes. Sarcasm again, which we've had that earlier. Our story coming from The Guardian is about Fête de la Musique, which is an event that all... Sorry?
Did you send a video?
I sent you a video on WhatsApp. Fête de la Musique became a must-visit event for Black diaspora. This is from the Guardian staff. At 4:45 p.m. in Châtelet, Central Paris, a man leans out of his third-floor balcony blasting EDM from his speakers. A makeshift cardboard sign is strapped to his decks detailing his Instagram account in capital letters. On both sides of him, his friends hype him up for an opened window, and on the ground, a crowd has started to gather. Completely spontaneous, slightly ridiculous, and entirely alive, this is typical of Fête de la Musique. Born in 1982 as a free France-wide government-sanctioned initiative to encourage citizens to pick up instruments and play for their neighbors, the Fête has long since outgrown its origins. Word of mouth, TikTok, and the growing allure of French language music have propelled it to the heights no arts ministry could have planned for. And Black Francophone culture has become the heartbeat of the weekend. Bouillon, chata, zouk, French Afrobeat, trap, hip-hop, and R&B are the sounds that have traveled farthest, enticing fresh crowds of Brits, predominantly Black Brits, to Paris every June. Reminder that this is on The Guardian, so they are going to talk from a British point of view. At a bar selling cups of ice to attendees, an American who made the trip after seeing videos on TikTok puts it simply, "I saw a bunch of videos on Black people in the street having a good time, and I was like, where is this? I was giving me carnival vibes, Juneteenth vibes." It is around Juneteenth too, which is actually very useful. I love to be in places where Black people are having fun. The fête has become, for a global diaspora, a cultural pilgrimage. In live sets across Paris, the Black Francophone music's biggest names have been put on center stage. Mimi KDS, Taikola, Kalash, June Morty, RN Boy. Brands have also moved in. Spotify made its first major appearance this year at the Palace de la Bastille. Barriers have gone up, and the infrastructure is visibly straining under the weight of its own popularity. Tightly packed streets, poorly cordoned off roads, and at points cars stranded in the middle of crowds, the city is struggling to keep pace with what the fête has become. By early evening, the heat wave pushes temperatures to 38 Celsius, and crowds gather in bikini tops and baggy jorts with portable fans. Flags from across the diaspora are draped over shoulders, a happy coincidence with the World Cup on. Water guns are sprayed from windows into throng below, a welcome intervention from residents who have found themselves as hosts of a citywide party. Step away from the branded stages and the vibe in Paris is like no other. 30 minutes of walking and you will hear 10 different genres, 10 different crowds. Older Parisians with their thin cigarettes and beers nodding to French jazz, industrial techno booming outside streetwear shops, French trap mixed on every other corner, and Haitian block party in a courtyard, everyone singing dancehall lyrics they clearly know by heart. A Filipino street party with home-cooked food. I'm so jealous. It feels like home, says one attendee. There's really something for everyone here. Everyone finds their own corner and their own volume for the night. From start to finish, Mimi KDS's C'est Mimi reigns as the unofficial national anthem, or arguably Mauvais Dios Pile. Bouillon, a frenetic style of French Caribbean dance music, rolls along with French Afrobeats, but Piano, Afro swing, and British hip-hop are never far behind. And diasporan staples such as Pop Smoke's Dior, Deeb's Cartel's Clarks, Gigs Talkin' the Hardest, and Khalil Harrison and Tyler ICU's Jealousy unite strangers across the streets. French MCs lead crowds through rounds of ole, 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 while Brits pick up the slang words oh yes, meaning oh yeah, wesh, meaning hey, and fast enough to feel like locals by the time they start making their way home in the early hours of the morning. The closest British equivalent is Notting Hill Carnival, which we've talked about before on Before Coffee. Though the two aren't exactly analogs, Carnival was born in the late 1950s to heal racial tensions and celebrate Caribbean culture in the aftermath of the Notting Hill race riots and the murder of Kelso Cochrane. It is concentrated, choreographed, rooted in a specific community and a specific wound. But carries no such origin. It sprawls across an entire city with no floats to catch at a set time, no single neighborhood to converge on. Here, there's no point where one party stops and another starts. Or, sorry, I should say it like this. Here, there is no point where one party stops and another one starts, says one British attendee, a lifelong carnival visitor. The cultural synergy at Fête feels like something new. It's not genre or location specific. The critique that the British influx has diluted something, that non-French speakers have taken over a thing that was never theirs, is not without a basis. French people who grew up with the fête as free and unrestricted will naturally feel the shift. Organizers will need to resist too many brands simply turning up, spending money on billboards, and turning this expressive, utopian-minded event into just another corporate festival. Extracting value from a black grassroots cultural phenomenon. Happens way too much in our history, and history of the globe. That's happened way too much. Hey, we can make money off this. Let's sell it to white people at a premium. Oh, what do you mean the black people can't go anymore? Because it's too expensive. Whoops. Now it's just a white people festival. The smaller free stages that have helped make the event what it cannot afford to be drowned out. But in person, for all that, Paris is creaking a little under the weight of Fête. These tensions do not play out as starkly as they do online. In an age where live music is increasingly ticketed and priced out of reach, an event drawing more than 2 million people across an entire city, almost entirely for free, feels like a problem and more like a godsend. You just have to be willing to walk and dance until your feet hurt. So wear something comfortable, take your hand fan and some water, and I guess go out there and dance in the Parisian streets. Here's my culture news celebrating music.
Gay Paris!
Celebrating Bob Dylan, celebrating music. Of course, Bob Dylan had a lot of inspirations from, the African American diaspora. So.
Oh no, for sure.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan's one of those few artists who would send his manager around to pay them off, though, when he ripped them off. So at least he did that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we know he ripped off.
It's not ripping him off if you pay him.
Right.
To be fair, you're just paying licensing.
They agree not to sue. That's all that really happens. Yeah. And again, you're taking advantage of poor people for sure, but at least you're not blatantly ripping them off, and then they got to take you to court, which they probably would get more money. Yeah, who knows? Unless they get a class action suit going. All right, so that was my non sequitur, kind of, sort of, right? My
That's your non sequitur?
Yeah, it's my non sequitur.
Okay,
it's gay free. Although I'm in favor of the rights of everybody, they need a new acronym. They get down. I'm in favor of queer. I just think that covers it, and it's already in the acronym. So
a lot of people are in favor of that too.
Yeah, the problem is, I pointed this out. You keep adding to it. How about just calling it plus? Just call it rainbow. Call it anything but.
I call it the alphabet. I love alphabet mafia. That's my favorite one. It makes it sound like a threat.
Alphabet mafia. That's good.
Yeah.
Although that does coincide with what they call all the government agencies, like the alphabet, the CIA, the FBI, the blah blah blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, do they? Okay.
I'm with the NDC. What the fuck's the NDC, man? Yeah. Like a guy's doing your security clearance. Aren't you CIA? No, I'm C4. What the fuck is that? I don't know what the fuck that means. You code talking motherfucker. I don't know what it means.
Our next segue is associate. For this day in history.
This day in history was a long day. It started on June 25th and ended on June 26th. Yeah, that's right. That's what happened. That's what happened. That's the end of it. That's my story. This day in 1243, Sinobaldo Cardinal Yeshe was elected pope, taking the name Innocent IV. We're a little presumptuous, aren't we? 1447, Kashmir. Man, kings used to have cool names.
Mm-hmm.
Kashmir IV, the Grand Duke of Lithuania, was crowned King of Poland. Casimir In 1530, the Augsburg Confession, 28 articles that constitute the basic confession of Lutheran churches, was presented at the Diet of Augsburg to the Emperor Charles V. And this God business is so people are acting like they know what God wants. It's absolute bullshit. 1870, Robert Erskine Childers, writer. Sinn Féin, deputy member of the Irish Republican Army, was born in London. So yeah, happy birthday to him. He was a member of the Irish Republican Army. But much more religious nonsense. We got to remember, but Protestants and the Catholics don't get along about that God business because, oh boy, you got to disagree about something stupid like that. Something we can't prove in any way. 1876, George Armstrong Custer made his last stand with the 7th Cavalry at the Battle of Little Big Horn. He said, "Hold my beer," and the guy is still holding his beer. When's he coming back? 1910, The Firebird by Igor Stravinsky and Michael Fokine premiered at the Paris Opera. Stravinsky, again, Frank Zappa's favorite composer. 1943, the Smith-Connolly Anti-Strike Act was enacted by U.S. Congress, giving the president power to cease to operate privately owned war plants when a strike or threat of strike interfere with war production. Sounds illegal, but whatever. I guess sounds illegal. Private enterprise, fuck private enterprise. I'm the president. I get to seize your assets because, hey, you worked all your life, so you can give it all to me, and I can seize your means of production. Sounds like communism. How did they pass that? Anne Frank's Diary of Young Girl was published in this day in 1947, not too long after she died. It became a classical war literature. It was heavily edited, as we find out recently, where she was talking about her bodily stuff going on as she was becoming a woman, and somebody thought that was too much for us sensitive little bitches to handle, so they took it out. 1950, the Korean War began after North Korea unleashed its attack southward across the 38th parallel. Of course, the 30th parallel was drawn by somebody else. It wasn't drawn by North Korea or South Korea, prompting the UN Security Council, minus the Soviet Union, to pass a resolution calling UN members to assist South Korea. First time UN did anything war-related, 1950, the Korean War, which lasted about a year and a half, and on TV lasted from 12 years, I think, on MASH. Of course, MASH was about the Vietnam War, set in the Korean War, because the show started during the Vietnam War. 1961, British comedian and actor Ricky Gervais was born. Happy 65. 65 to Ricky Gervais. I don't know if that qualifies you for a pension in London. Maybe it does. I don't know. 1993, Canadian politician Kim Campbell was sworn as the country's first woman prime minister, and she served for less than 5 months. And Canada said, "We did that. We don't have to do anymore."
We're done.
This day in 2009 was a sad day for the world, as American actress Farrah Fawcett died at the age of 62. She died of cancer. She filmed her struggle with cancer. The whole, was very tragic. She first gained fame as Charlie's Angels. She only got to be 62. That very same day, Michael Jackson died. Yeah, very same day. He only got to be 50. So I have cheated death longer than Michael Jackson got to cheat death, and he had all kinds of money and opportunity to cheat death all he wanted to, but he got addicted to drugs, and that was it. Lethal combination of sedatives, a lethal combination of sedatives and propofol. It was just an anesthetic, which he got addicted to because Michael Jackson had an empty life, it turns out. So let's put him up on a pedestal if you want, but you got to understand he had a very empty, tragic life, start to finish, I would say, because his childhood. Okay. So again, Michael Jackson's death did overshadow Farrah Fawcett, as everybody forgot Farrah Fawcett died immediately, like 5 minutes later. Who cares? Michael Jackson died. Let's do 10 days of specials on Michael Jackson. That shit got stupid. because of his dad. His dad was all on the fucking, let's remember my son. Rah, rah. Your son is 50 and he died. Isn't that a problem for you? 2024, China's lunar probe Change 6 returned to Earth. Imagine that. Carrying the first samples from the far side of the moon. Not the dark side of the moon, the far side of the moon. That's where Gary Larson lives, on the far side of the moon. Featured event is a symbol of pride is born on this day. The first version of the rainbow flag, which represents LGBTQ, the worst acronym. Well, probably not the worst acronym, but one that needs to be fixed. Was flown during the 7th annual Gay Freedom Day Parade in San Francisco. One of the 2 rainbow-themed flags created for the event. The original flag was massive in an 8 stripes in color, hot pink. Had to be hot pink, none of that mild pink for me.
Yes. No.
Red,
I agree. It was
orange,
hot
pink,
in San Francisco.
Yellow, green, blue, turquoise, and violet. Around 30 volunteers dyed the strips of materials and sewed them by hand. Of course, San Francisco is the gayest city in America. I don't think that's a question about that. It might not be. What West Hollywood probably maybe has more gay people in it, but San Francisco has the reputation. Let's just say that. Nothing wrong with it, man. I love San Francisco, except for actually, I don't love San Francisco. Too many fucking hills. That's just too many hills. I thought San Diego was bad or Seattle. San Francisco's stupid. Plus, it's built on fill. It's built on nothing. It's built on stuff that they moved to create buildings. That's why the earthquake destroys everything. Anyway, San Francisco had the first gay flag this day in, what year is it? It should be at the top. Doesn't even say. Isn't that crazy? It doesn't even say what year. That's crazy. Well, a year, it was at the 7th annual, if you know what year that was. That's funny. It doesn't even say what year. It just says on the 7th annual. Well, thanks a lot. Thanks for the information, Britannica. Our happy birthdays today. Hold on a second. Our birthdays today, other than the people we already mentioned. To hell with it. That's all the birthdays today. It's National Day Calendar. National Day Calendar. It's National Leon Day. It's National Bomb Pop Day. That's something you buy off an ice cream truck. I would never buy something like that.
Those raves where you're on ecstasy, they always have those at raves with ecstasy. People have those bomb pops because it tastes better. It tastes way more sweeter.
And it's kind of
I've never done it myself.
It's kind of a rainbow in a kind of a reverse order. It's got red on top and blue on the bottom and white in the middle. There's no white in a rainbow.
It's the Dutch flag.
White's a color you can't see in a rainbow because
or the French flag if you put on its side.
There is white light in a rainbow. You just can't see it because it's white light. So yeah,
it's all the colors.
Well, yeah, it's white. No, it's white light. It's just white light.
White light is all the colors. That's how it works.
I just don't think so. It's just a different frequency of light. They're all different frequencies. All light is a different frequency of light. All colors are a different frequency of light. So that's all. Everything. It's National Catfish Day, and it legitimately is about catfish. I looked it up. It wasn't about pretending you're somebody else on the internet, even though I looked it up. Ronald Reagan made it National Catfish Day in 1987 because he was a senile old man. But under there's a little tag that says social awareness and pop culture and lifestyle, but it has nothing to do with National Catfish Day because it's not that type of catfish. So I don't know what Britannica is doing here. Well, let's say Britannica. This is nationalcalendar.com. National Strawberry Parfait, National Handshake Day. Now, if you have the flu and you're in boot camp or anywhere in Air Force, don't shake anybody's hand. Keep to yourself because they didn't get vaccinated. And now, as I'm referring for today, your technical glitches, and boy, do we have them. Your lists, your spins of the wheel, your birthdays, your controversies for Thursday, June 25th, on before strawberry parfaits, bomb pops, and don't forget to have a big old plate of catfish.
The whole thing.
Deep fried catfish, baby. Best thing about catfish is they just got them rib bones. You can just pick around them, right? They're easy to eat. A lot of fish, they got too many bones.
For my associate, I actually found this blog post by the Traveling Boyfriends where they ranked the 10 gayest cities in the U.S. So just a quick, this is my Thursday's 13 list, but it's my Thursday 10 list. Supposedly
Nice.
Atlanta, Georgia is number 10. Minneapolis, Minnesota is number 9. Seattle, Washington is number 8. Miami, Florida is number 7. Miami is pretty gay. Portland, Oregon is number 6. Boston, Massachusetts is number 5.
Boston.
Los Angeles, LA is number 4, which, you know, can also include West Hollywood.
Right.
San Francisco is in California is number 2 and number 3. Number 2 is Chicago. And then number 1 is New York City, New York. And they specifically said not factoring in Fire Island, which is a gay mecca, supposedly. I've just learned recently from cows. So,
Very famous.
but they were ranking it off of places you can be gay and still feel safe in and do gay stuff. I don't mean like have sex with men. I mean just, you know,
how does San Francisco
gay
not number
openly.
1? How does San
No,
Francisco
I guess New York City is just more welcoming to the LGBT. There's multiple queer neighborhoods, is what they're saying. And it's just not New York City, but like everywhere, right? They've got Hell's Kitchen, West Village, Fire Island. Yeah, I don't know if it's family friendly gay.
And again,
but
the worst kind of gay people are the ones that are gay and try to hold other gay people down. Those are the worst people.
They said here how we ranked the gayest cities was the culture and visibility of it in daily life. So how much you see gay people just around. Legal protections, so if somebody punches you in the face, you can actually, you know, it's considered hate crime. And the political climate. If there's established queer neighborhoods and events happening all the time where you can be with the community, so to say. And then actually how it feels to actually be there as a gay couple, because they are a gay couple. So there is some, what do you would call it? It's not scientific. Obviously, it's very... their perception of it. So.
There's a variety of any type of person, just like there's a variety of straight people. So,
and they did explicitly say they know
really
gay friendly has lost its meaning mostly due to corporate America, but that's not where they're not going after corporate gayness. Yeah.
Who cares about corporate America? Corporate America is out to steal your money. That's their only goal. I don't know anybody thinks they're some kind of friend.
I guess
Cows
is against this list because he lives in
people
New York.
gonna
And he
realize?
doesn't think it's the gayest. He doesn't think it's the gayest city in America. I guess.
We're all a certain degree of gay, I suppose. Let's go.
It's nice to be easy to be gay. That was my associate.
Okay.
As you were mentioning, San Francisco.
I can't believe that's not the gayest city.
Yeah, Cal's has a different experience. I guess it also depends what generation you're from too.
I heard West Palm Beach was gayer than Miami. In Florida.
Really? Good to know.
I don't know.
Today,
I'm not an expert.
Today is
the
day. Speaking of being
New Orleans
gay,
also very gay. New Orleans very gay. I don't know why that's on the list. Yeah,
go ahead and kiss a sailor because it's the day of the seafarer for our UN observances. On June 25th, the global maritime community comes together to celebrate the Day of the Seafarer. They launched a campaign of harassment-free ship. That's right. Don't harass people on the ship because they can't fucking go anywhere. They're at sea. So stop harassing people on your ship, seafarers. Seafarers, people who do shipping, people who, do fishing. There's many different types of seafarers and celebrate them today.
Are we talking about
What,
Boston?
Providence?
Oh,
No,
Providence.
Providence.
Okay.
A small city
okay.
with 3 colleges, culinary school, and an art school, and an Ivy League. Isn't Providence where Yale is? I'm thinking a different place.
Yale is in Connecticut. And what Ivy League schools in Providence? Brown?
Rhode Island. Providence, Rhode Island.
Yeah, I know Providence, Rhode Island. University of Rhode Island's there. Providence University's there. And Ivy League school. What Ivy League school?
Brown, I guess?
Brown? Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, but now, Cows, you're just being very anecdotal because you have bias. You You have a bias for Providence because you went there. And
I
you
have
were there
no
the most.
problem accepting that brown is there. I have no problem with that. It's brown. Okay. I mean, I know brown. I know it's a thing. Columbia's in New York. I know that. Let's see. What are the Ivy League schools? Yale is in. Don't tell me. Somewhere in Connecticut. It's in.
That's a funny name.
What?
A lot of the places where these Ivy League schools are just like New Haven.
It's called New Haven. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a funny name. It's New Haven. They should have named the town Yale.
That's not a funny name. It's just named after Old Haven.
Anyways, we're getting way off topic here. We've gone on a tangent. There you go. There's all the universities.
Absolutely.
In
I am not disputing. I've only driven through Providence. I like I said, I named the other two. I named all three universities. I just assumed I didn't know the Ivy League school. I just don't want to yell out an Ivy League school and get it wrong. But Brown, it's nice to know.
I mean, you're guessing. It's a chance to be wrong.
I've added to my knowledge on this. So I think is there 6 or 7 Ivy League schools? It might be 8. We got Harvard, Princeton. Princeton is in Princeton, New Jersey. You know that. Harvard's in Boston. Columbia's in New York. Is Colgate? Is that part of the? That's in Utica, New York.
I don't know. I don't even believe in this concept of Ivy League school. I think it's just like something that makes people feel good about themselves. Harvard, Brown, Yale, Columbia, Princeton, and Penn. Well, Penn is also part of the Ivy League.
That's in Philadelphia.
Obviously, yeah, Pennsylvania.
Oh, it's in Pennsylvania, but it's basically in Philadelphia.
Anyways,
and that's a state university. Isn't that weird? That's a state university, not a private, right? I believe. Anyway, yeah, it's a university.
I don't know.
Isn't that weird?
I didn't go to any of these schools. I went to a school
Cornell.
in Europe. So.
Did I say Colgate? Cornell is the one in Utica, New York. Cornell.
But it's not considered an Ivy League school, supposedly, so. Conveniently, they're all on the East Coast, too. Is it? Oh, no, you're right. Cornell and Dartmouth. Sorry, they're over here.
Dartmouth is in Massachusetts, I believe. There's a town called Dartmouth.
Anyways, that is our stories. That's everything. This has been Allison here from the Netherlands. Roger from the East Coast of the U.S. Yeah, I don't know why I'm just trying to drop it. And we will see you tomorrow for the Friday news dump, in which we will talk about all the news you need to know about for the weekend, so you don't have to worry about it. If you're not already subscribed to Before Coffee podcast on YouTube, please do that. And also follow us on Twitch, the same name, Before Coffee Podcast. Appreciate everyone who's already following our supporting, and of course our Before Coffee supporters on Patreon. Here is our mic drop moment, which is
You've seen it
very on topic about being gay.
Clubs and bars, and on t-shirts and clothing. But do you know
history
where
of the
LGBT
flag.
plus pride flag came from? The answer takes us back to the late 1970s and gay artist and drag queen Gilbert Baker. Baker
hot
was
pink,
urged by Harvey
which is
Milk,
not there
the first
anymore.
openly gay elected official in California, to create a flag that represented the queer community.
Sex.
So Baker created a flag with
Why do
8
you need a
stripes,
flag
each
for
with its
sex?
own
I don't
color and
know.
corresponding
Sex is
meaning.
just kind of a
Hot
given.
pink for
right?
sex, red for life, orange for healing, yellow for sunlight, green for nature.
I don't know, gay
turquoise
people
for
love
magic
sex.
and art, indigo
Most people
for
love
soul,
sex, actually.
harmony,
That's
and
not
violet for spirit.
That's not
Those were the
necessarily
elements that Baker believed were
trait
present
only
in
of-
all people.
I don't
Maybe
want
that's
to
why they
This
got
flag
rid of the
debuted
hot
on
pink
June
because of the
1978
corporate
in the San
American
Francisco
gayness.
Gay
They're like,
Freedom
oh, we
Day
gotta
Parade.
get rid of the pink.
In 1979,
So we can't talk
pink was
about
removed
sex.
because of the scarcity
Yep.
of the fabric and
I
similar
haven't seen
production
nothing wrong
issues.
with
Really?
first
Because of the
flag.
scarcity of the
and
fabric?
replacing the indigo color with a more basic blue, leaving the more traditional.
No,
thick
not
stripes.
indigo. Justice
In
for indigo,
1994, The
man.
rainbow became a
The
more
long name.
established
I hate when they
got
symbol
rid of
for
indigo.
LGBT plus pride when Baker constructed a mile-long version of the flag for
Wow,
the 25th
that's really
anniversary of
impressive.
the Stonewall riots. In 2017, Baker added a lavender stripe to the top of his original flag.
Yeah.
Oh,
symbolizing
We got
lavender.
purple back,
no.
baby.
bringing the total to
It was
9
hot
stripes.
pink.
Since Baker passed
To
away in
lavender.
March of 2017, this was his last contribution to the pride flag.
Oh no, rest
Later
in
that
peace,
year,
the creator of the
city
flag.
Philadelphia added black and brown stripes to the classic 6, representing people of color in the LGBT plus community.
Okay, you're,
Yeah, 'cause they don't get
just
enough
getting-
credit.
Seattle
They're just
incorporated
getting
pale
stupid
blue,
now.
pink,
It just
and white
okay.
into the pride flag.
Really? As
They're
they
gone.
add black
Transgender
people into
flag
stupid?
created by
That's really
Monica
racist of you to
represent
say.
the trans
Why are
I'm being
the ads?
sarcastic. This
Why,
is not
why are we
serious.
Daniel
Why are we?
Quays are combined and reshaped
Why are we adding
Philadelphia
this?
and
God,
Seattle
why are we adding
places
this? I'm
to
like,
focus on
okay.
They're
moving
explaining
Why
it, but
are
you're
we-
talking
his
over
design
it, so we
called
don't know
the
now.
Progress flag.
The flag
This
has the
flag was
same
designed to
problem
start
as their
conversations about
acronym.
race and
It should
trans
be in
issues
two
within
It's
the
because we
queer community.
revealed
While the
original
more
flag was
people
meant
with
to
different
represent the
points of
entire
view
community,
on
it
sex
turns
and
out that the
gender. Is
community
that so
itself
wrong
is
that we're finding
divided.
out way more
In
ways?
fact, the Philadelphia
How come there's
flag
no
was
white
only
on there for
introduced
white
after it
people
was
that are
discovered
gay?
that 11 gay bars
How come there's
Because
no-
that's the
uh,
default in
regularly
America,
discriminate
sadly,
against
and I'm sure you
I
knew
don't
that.
think it is.
and
I don't think it
patrons of
is.
color.
I don't think it
Well,
is.
While all
I'm
not
LGBT
white.
plus people are marginalized,
I'm not white.
queer
I'm
people
pink.
of color
Okay.
and trans people face disproportionate
You know
rates
what?
of
You're being
poverty,
pedantic. You know
violence,
what whiteness
homelessness,
is in
and
America.
HIV
White
and
supremacy
AIDS.
I
has been
do
an
know.
These flags are not
influential
trying to
thing
add
in the United
colors until
States
everyone
culture
feels
for since the
represented.
beginning.
do
Rather, they
know-
are attempting
Its
to highlight
invention.
some important issues
I
facing
do know
queer
the flag
community.
business has the same
Racism
problem the
and
acronym
transphobia.
has. They
There are
can't
also
I don't think it's a
settle on
problem
it.
flags
myself.
representing
They
microgroups
can't
within
settle
the
on
queer
one. They
community.
keep adding
They
to it.
include
You think
flags
this is
for
the
people
final
who
version?
identify as lesbian,
Well, of course, it's
gay
never the
men,
final version.
bisexual, transgender,
I mean, of the acronym.
queer,
They're going to use the whole
pansexual,
alphabet, like you said.
intersex,
Transsexual, that's me.
asexual or ace, agender,
But there sure is a
non-binary,
lot of
and even
flags.
ally. If you
I
have
choose
questions
the
about
flag.
any of these
Zero
microgroups and
flags.
their meanings,
Zero
you can
flags
check out
for
our
me.
other
Fine.
videos.
I don't
I'm not really a
care.
flag waver myself
Before
either,
any of
which is
these
why I don't
white
have any.
flags, and even before the current
I'll leave you
rainbow flags,
guessing,
one of
okay?
the most commonly used symbols of
You don't
pride
need to
is the
know.
pink triangle
You don't need
flag,
to know.
people
None of your
won't guess,
business.
they'll just
homosexuality.
assume.
The symbol
Yeah,
itself
none of your
dates back
business
to the
anyway.
first
That's the way I
concentration
assume.
camps in
None of your
Nazi
fucking
Germany
business
and
what
was
I'm
used to
doing.
mark homosexuals. The
Yep.
homosexual
If everybody
community
wants to get out there in the
reclaimed
street and
revived
I guess they were
demonstrate, that's
trying to
their business.
reclaim. They're trying to
as a symbol of
reclaim
overcoming
the
persecution.
gay marker from
Obviously,
the
there are
Nazis
far
by
too many
using
pride
it
flags to cover
themselves.
in this video, but I hope this helps
Too
you
many
develop a more
choices
basic
is not
understanding of where
healthy. It's
some of
never
these
been
symbols come
healthy.
from.
No,
It's
I
never been
love
healthy.
Some of the
I
next
love
pride
having
parade.
multiple choices. I
Whichever
love
flag you
variety.
fly,
Yes,
remember
I do.
Gilbert
Yeah,
Baker.
You can't tell me how I feel.
People say
Our job as gay people was
people
to come
who say
out, to be
that are
visible,
lying to
to live
themselves.
in the truth.
You
Okay.
like two choices.
Just because you
Out
are
from
living
the
a different perspective in
A
life
flag
doesn't mean
really
mine
fit
is
that mission,
not correct.
Because that's a way of proclaiming your
It's a
visibility.
scientific
or
fact.
saying,
People like
No,
fewer
it's
choices.
not. That
This
is
who I
not
am.
scientific.
Yes, it is. You can look it up.
They did a study
Mhm.
on a theory. That doesn't make it scientific
Any
fact.
study.
There's no such thing as a scientific.
Be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and notify buttons, and follow our other channels, Toxic Alley, History of Gravy, and Scratchy Old Records.